All right. Like I was saying last week we talked about geometrical construction, which is just a copy and paste drawing, but you need to show all your geometrical lines, like I was instructing you on the other drawing. It's 25 marks in the exam. Then when we come to this orthographic projection, it's also 25 marks and it's always in the exam. So the only thing that you need to do is to understand the two types of orthographic projection. I think you can see here, right?
Yes, ma'am.
The first one is first angle projection. And why we start with this one is we need to explain like the setup of the views. Like I was teaching you in orientation, orthographic projection is viewing of an object from different positions. You need to be able to extract the views of an object from different directions, from different positions. Then we need to let them, either be in first or third angle projection. It will depend with the question the examiner is going to bring to you. So immediately you hear that it's asking for first angle projection. This is the setup. He wants the front view to sit on top, the top view to be below the front, and the left view, or we call it the side view. The side view is going to be on the right-hand side every time of your front view. That is according to first angle projection. And then when we talk of the symbol, I think you know the symbols because you've done drawing before. Let me just do that symbol here. That symbol is for first angle projection. You've seen this symbol, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, third angle projection is the opposite, meaning that you are going to have a cone facing that side, and then the circles will be on this side. This is when it is drawn in third angle projection. Just in case they don't mention but they put a symbol down, you have to know that, oh, okay, this symbol is third angle, and if it's third angle projection, I need to put my top on top, my front below the top. Then what comes here is the side view. But this side view in third angle projection is not a right view. It's not a left view, it's called a right view. Here it was a left view, this is a right view. And then what you must also remember is that the front and the side view, they move together. Can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's just check if anyone is joining there. Okay, it's fine. Yeah. I am saying that front and left, they move together. You can see in third angle projection, when the front comes down, the right comes down. If it's a right, this front is a left. That's what you must know. In third angle projection, the front is viewed from the left-hand side, meaning that I'll come to this drawing here. When I'm asking you to do the left view here, it means I'm asking for this view from that side, of the front. Okay, so here your front view is a right view. In first angle projection, the front view is viewed from the right-hand side of the object. It's like you take your car, and then I want the front of your car. The name right and left will depend on where you are standing to look at your front of your car. So if you stand on the right-hand side or the right of a car, it's a right view, but it's still the front view. The front view is not going to change. The front view of an object is the same. What changes is the positioning, like which position you are going to stand from to look at the object. But the front of a house is going to be the same front. Even the front of your car can never change. What changes is the positioning. So immediately you are viewing your front from the left side, then you are doing it in third angle projection, because the front in third angle projection is a left view, and the front in first angle projection is a right view. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what I'll start with today, I'm not going to teach you two-dimensional orthographic projection, because I know, as much as I know geometrical, then orthographic. Orthographic in general drafting is what we call auxiliary views. I don't know if you've done auxiliary views before. It's like that. Auxiliary views, we talk of prisms, pyramids, octagon prism, hexagon prism. You need to talk about those shapes, okay? The polygons, but those polygons must be in form of prisms, either prism or it can be a pyramid. So we are not talking about two-dimensional orthographic projection. When I talk of two-dimensional orthographic projection, is that one that we just do, maybe the front is looking like this, you see, the top view is looking like that. That is what we call two-dimensional. I'm not doing this one now. We are going to learn about this one in, I think, pictorial, but I'll touch about this next time. But I know that the exam is about the auxiliary views. Are we clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so when it comes to auxiliary views, the first thing that you must know is that you are always given the front view. Examiner will never ask you for the front view because it is always given. The front view comes with this, what we call the auxiliary view. When I say auxiliary view, it's that view. This is not a top view. This is an auxiliary view because it's the view of the object from the bottom or from the top. What you see is how does it look at this side? How does it look from that side or from that side? It is not the top view of this object. No. So I see many students are confusing the auxiliary view with the top view. The top view will be the question, and then when they ask for the top view, it means you are looking from this view. This is your front. The front will always be provided to you. Then the front is provided with the auxiliary view. So you cannot do the front before you draw the auxiliary view. You always have to start with auxiliary view. Then you project. Can you see my red lines?
Yes, ma'am.
I started drawing that one first. And if you look at this hexagon shape, can you see the red circle inside?
Yes, ma'am.
There's a red circle because last week I was showing you how to draw polygons inside the circle and outside the circle. That is where now we apply that chapter. It's here. All the concepts that I showed you on the polygons, you are going to apply them on chapter 3 to get those prisms and the pyramids. You cannot get this because this is a prism. It's an hexagon prism, the blue one, and they have drawn it in blue. But before I get the front of the hexagon prism, I must first get the auxiliary shape, how it looks at the bottom. Then you project from that shape. The angle can change. It's not always going to be 30 degrees. It depends on the question. Sometimes they will tell you it's slanting at 45. If it's slanting at 45 to the right, it will slant at 45 on the other side. So this one is my example, and I'm saying it's slanting at 30 degrees. So what is the angle on the other side?
30 degrees.
60, not 30. When it's slanting at 30 on one side, the other side should be 60, which adds up to 90 degrees.
Yes, ma'am.
It won't be 30 and 30, no. Unless on one side is 45, then the other side will be 45. Because 45 plus 45 is 90. We always add up the two angles to 90. They need to meet at 90 degrees. You can check that corner here. This is 90 degrees corner. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what I will do, I need to clean up. I'll just leave the front and the auxiliary view. And I've already mentioned to you that you are always going to be given the front view. Even if that auxiliary view was down here, it doesn't mean that is your front. You have to be very clever and see which one is your front and which one is your auxiliary shape. But without the auxiliary shape, you cannot get your front view. So I want you to look at the auxiliary shape because that's what I started with first. Look at the hexagon. Can you see the way I drew the hexagon?
Yes, ma'am.
It is across the flats method. If you go to module 2, go on the polygons and look at across the flats method, you will see that that is the method. It's the one that is drawn outside the circle. And the hexagon side length, which is the side length of the hexagon, is the radius of your circle. That you must not forget. So I've already projected and brought the lines down to get this blue shape, which is the prism. But I've also cut it here because the examiner likes to bring these shapes where they are cut. Can you see the way I cut it?
Yes, ma'am.
That piece is not there. So when we start to project, I'm not going to focus on that piece that is cut. I'm only going to focus on the pieces that are left. So when you follow that number, what number is there? 1. So when you bring the red line, construction line, down here, it brings you to this corner, not the one that is chopped off. That is your point 1 on the front, and the other one is down here. That is number 1 on the front. Are we together?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. When we look at the second corner, I'm just talking about hexagon now. This is number 6. Can you see 6 here? This corner is 6, that corner is 2.
Yes, ma'am.
They are lining up, meaning that when you project, number 2 will pass through 6. And that means that when you come with that red line, where it's going to put you here or leave you here, that is 2 and 6. So I said 2 over 6. At the bottom, it's 2 over 6. You have a point on top and at the bottom, because at that edge, you see the hexagon. At the bottom edge, you see the hexagon. So it's a hexagon and the hexagon, then you join the points together, you make a prism. And that's why I'm saying it's 2 and 2, 6 and 6. Because that 6 goes down to 6, which is here. Then on the other side, I've got 2 going down to 2 at the bottom. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
The next number is number 3 and 5, which I've projected. So make sure when you project 3 passes through 5. Then you go with that line all the way down and see where it brings you there. That is it, 3 and 5. This point 3 and 5. This other one is 3 and 5. Don't focus on the green one for now. You start with the biggest part of your front view. Because this front view is made of 2 solids. That's why this topic is called solids. Because you combine 2 solids together, it's like it's fused or casted together. One is a cylinder, the other one is what? A prism. So the green one is a cylindrical block sitting on top of a prism, which is hexagon prism. So I'm going to ask you to look from the left. Let's say we are looking from the left. And if I'm looking from the left, which of the 2 views are we dealing with? Is it first angle or third angle? If I say I need the left view. Because the front is already given, so don't talk about the front. This is our front. Whether it's third angle or first angle, the front is already there. So if I ask you now to look from the left, I want the left view. So which of the 2, first or third, are we doing?
First angle.
Good. It means it will be in first angle projection. Very correct. Then if I ask you to say, I'm looking for the right view. I'm going to look for the right view. Which projection are we dealing with?
Third angle.
Third angle projection, because the front is a left, it's already given. They cannot ask you for a left in third angle because the left is a front, which is already given to you. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what I'll do, I want us to look from the right-hand side, meaning that we are doing this question in third angle projection. I'm going to leave out to remove the first angle projection and look from here. There's a reason I want to look from the right-hand side, because of the cylinder. If I look from the left, I think the cylinder will be hidden too much, you see.
Yes, ma'am.
I want us to see the cylinder, so we'll have to look from the right-hand side. And the other reason I want us to look from the right-hand side, so that we can see the top edge of the hexagon prism. Do you agree that you'll see that top edge of the hexagon prism than the bottom edge?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. But if we are looking from the left view, we would have seen more of what? Bottom edge than the top edge. So in these types of questions, it is a matter of knowing when I'm standing on the left, what will I see at the bottom? Am I going to see all the edges of whatever is there, which is your hexagon? You have to show us when we go to the side view. Because this line, though it is a straight line, it's indicating points. It's 2 and 6, 3 and 5. Then it's point what? 4 here. 4. 4 and 4. So let's look from the right hand side and then we do it in third angle projection because I need the right view. So meaning that I'm not doing it in first. And then if I'm doing in third angle projection, what does that tell you? It tells you to say this front with its auxiliary view must be drawn in these quadrants. Can you see? You need to have enough space on your paper. Plan very well such that you don't run out of space. So the front view will be drawn in the bottom left corner with the auxiliary view together in these quadrants. Then the right hand side quadrant, meaning that it's going to look like that. I don't have space like this. Our top will be here, but I'm not going to project the top. Can you see the space I left for the top?
Yes, ma'am.
That's how it is. But if it's on the paper like this, is poor planning because I've left, less space for the top view. You are supposed to move it down, further down to leave enough space for your top view. Okay, so let us project now. Looking from the right hand side, and before you start to project, I want you to know, can you see line YY here in green? This line is a very important line on this chapter. How do we know which center line is a Y line? Because when we come to auxiliary shape, there is a center line here and there is a center line here, right?
Yes, ma'am.
The center line that is parallel to the width, I think this is the width. This is the width. This is the height. Can you see this is the width, this is the height?
Yes, ma'am.
When we come to the prism, this is the width of the prism, and this is the height of the prism. We agree?
Yes, ma'am.
So the center line that is parallel to the width is your Y line every time, regardless of which side it is facing. Whether it's slanting to the right or left, look at it, what is your width of that shape. Then you go to your auxiliary view and locate the center line which is parallel to the width, and this is my Y line, which is a very important line. I know in high school they taught you to have a line drawn here. You remember?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. With us, we work in the middle, we work in the center. Don't work with that line outside here because it's going to be a bit complicated. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so looking from the right hand side and only looking at the hexagon prism, which points do we see? Do you agree that you see this edge, you see that edge, you see this, you see that? Before we put the cylinder, for now ignore the cylinder, like there's no cylinder.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, there's no cylinder. This corner will be hidden details, am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Because it's hiding in the material. So this point, even if it's in hidden details, it's part of the top edge. Because if this was not cut, this point would be there. Can you see? But it has been cut, so we're having the next point here, number 1. I'll leave this one, I'm not going to use 1 in this corner that's cut off. So it's 1, then we have this corner, cutting edge is not none of the corners, so you need to go and take it there. Whenever there is a point where it was cut, you need to project with your ruler, go up to get a point here where it was cut. So I'll call this one X1 and X2. Can you see the way I've introduced the part that was cut?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And that is how we are going to do it. Though I know that number 1 is going to be hidden, but I'll see X1 and X2 when I'm looking from the right hand side before I consider the cylinder. So let us focus on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even if it's hidden. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. Project to your right hand side because you need the right view. So I am going to project number 1. Let's start with 1, this one here. Horizontal line. Then you go to that cut here, X1 and X2. Then you go to 2 and 6. Then you go to 3 and 5. Then you go to number 4. I'm going to use this line. This line is not a demarcation. I want to introduce a line on the side view, which is a Y line. You agree there? Center line.
Yes, ma'am.
You have a center line on the auxiliary view, which is called YY. When we project on the side view, we also need the line called YY. So I'll use this one. Let's not use this as a quadrant or partition of anything. I'm just using it as a line, a center line. So introduce this Y line, and I'm going to put it in green. Center line. This Y line is the same as that Y line. And then what we do, when we are looking from the right hand side of this shape, when we go to the auxiliary view, the right hand side is the right hand side of this center line, not the Y line. You see this center line?
Yes, ma'am.
So right hand side, do you see that it's this side of this center? It's right, left. You
Yes,
stand
ma'am.
like this, yes. So there's right, then left. When you are viewing from the left view, you are going to say right hand side, left hand side. But we are looking from right. When you are looking from the right, you shift. You are going to stand like that. Can you see? It will be left, then right. That's how it is. You have to just shift either to the right or to the left. But I'll come to that point. Let me just project for now. Can you see point 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Where is point 4 on this auxiliary view? Is it on the Y line or it is away from the Y line?
On the white line.
It is on the Y line. So when you go with this horizontal line, you want mark point 4 on your Y line. Let's go to 3 and 5. Is 3 and 5 on the Y line or away from the Y line?
Away from the
Away. So it means you need the compass. You need to hold your compass and take this distance. You see that distance?
Yes, ma'am.
This distance here to 5, which is the same distance to 3.
Yes, ma'am.
And because I'm looking from the right hand side of the Y line, this is the right hand side view. This is right, this is left. Which number is on the right between 3 and 5? Looking from right here. You see the arrows. Assume this is your eyes. These are your eyes. Between number 5 and number 3, which one is on your right hand side?
Number 3.
Good. So when you go with this line and you take that distance from the Y line, you need to take that distance and place here and mark number 3 on the right and mark number 5 on the left. Can you see? 5 is on the left.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then we go to 6 and 2. On this line, I need to mark 6 and 2, but you need to look which one is on the right, which one is on the left. Viewing on the right hand side of the Y line, or of this line. Right and left is viewing position. Viewing position, we look at the center line, not the Y line. But when we want to know which number goes to right or left, we use the Y line, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So number 6, which one between 2 and 6 is on the right hand side?
Number 2.
Number 2, which is the same distance as 3, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you take that distance just above 3 there, you mark number 2, 6 will be above 5, right? 6.
Yes, ma'am.
Then after 2 and 6, can you see it's x1 here, where it was cut? x1 and x2. 6 to x1, 2 to x2. How do I know how far x1 and x2 are from the Y line? You take your compass again, you take this 90 degrees line like that to x1. And then you take that distance to x2. So x2 is on your right, am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
So take that distance, follow this line for x1 and x2. You come and mark x2, and then you mark the same distance here on x1. Then number 1, don't ignore number 1. Number 1 is part of the top edge, though it is in hidden details. Is number 1 on the Y line or away from the Y line?
On the Y
On the Y
line.
line. You take this line straight, and go and mark number 1 here on the Y line. So what it means is you are going to see everything from X to here, to there, except 1. How 1 joins to X1, we are not going to see. In that case, join X2 to number 2. Join 2 to 3. The way it is here, X2 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to... You will see because you are looking from that side. Join 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, then this one to X1, then X1 to X2 because it's a cutting edge. This is a solid line. It's a cutting edge. In drawing, you know that it's a corner. So this will be solid here. But from X1 to 1, X1 to 1 at the bottom, this line, we won't see that line. It's hidden details. So from X1 to 1, it's going to be dashed lines. Can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
That's how we do it. So what we have just done is the top edge of the hexagon. Only the top edge. But the hexagon prism has got the bottom edge. Can you see that bottom edge?
Yes,
We
ma'am.
also have to take them there. And then once we do the top and the bottom, we'll join them with vertical lines. Here, these lancing lines here, that side will be vertical lines, like 4 to 4, there will be a sort of vertical line. 5 to 5, 3 to 3, vertical line. But before you do the vertical lines, first do the bottom edge. Then project number 4, horizontal line. You must go across the Y line. Then 2 and 3 and 5. That is 3 and 5, sorry. 3 and 5. 2 with 6. Then it's 1 here. Okay, then you start marking. If you want, you can still go back there and relate with the Y line, relate with the Y line. Or else you can say, there's 4. 4 is just below the other 4. So when I go with this line, I know 4 on top is here, so the other 4 will be here. Can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
Then we go to 3 and 5. When I come with this line, there is 5. Just below that 5, I'll have 5 at the bottom. Then below 3, I'll have 3 at the bottom. Then it's 2 and 6. You go with that line, you know that 6 was there, so 6 is here, just on that line, number 6. Then 2 is here. This is 3, then 2. 2 is there, below that 2. Then it's number 1. Number 1 below the top one, you come and mark number 1 here. Alright, can we see? Now how do we join these points? The only way to join the points is the way they are joined here. But, can you see my arrows on the right hand side?
Yes, ma'am.
These arrows, it means that's where you are standing. It's right of this line, the center line. So the numbers that you are going to see here, it's only the lower half. The lower half will be visible here. The upper half on the bottom edge you won't see. Meaning, you are not going to see how 1 joins to 2 and how 1 joins to 6. That is the upper half, because you are on the right hand side. You only see the lower half, you see like that. And the lower half is this part of 4 to 5, 4 to 3, because that's where your eyes are. These arrows are your eyes. You are looking from there. This is right hand side, left hand side. If we were looking here from left view, I was going to say you're standing here. But it's not left view, it's right viewing. So if it's left viewing, this was going to be right hand side and that side left hand side of Y line. So this is not the case. I'll remove. But do you understand why I'm saying you see 4 to 5 and 4 to 3? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So there is 4. You will see 4 to 3. Let's remove the Y line. Then you will see 4 to 5. And then 5 to, you will see how 5 goes to 6, because these are the edges. You see, these are the edges. You will see how 5 goes to 6 and how this goes to there. If this was on the center line, I was going to only see up until the center line. But it goes all the way to 6, meaning you are going to see how 5 joins with 6 here. Okay? This 5 here with that 6 there. Or you can just go straight 5 to 5, because you are going to have a vertical line still 5 with 5. You can just make a solid line here, straight. Why I'm closing this? Because already 5 and 5 is going to be 5 to 5, solid line, which I will see. I'm going to see 4 to 4 when I'm here. I'm here. I'll see how this 4 joins with 4 down, and how this 5 joins with 5 down. Same with 3, how it joins with 3 down. So this 3 with that 3, close. There's nothing to stress there, you close. Okay, so once that is done, the next thing you're supposed to do is the hidden part. The hidden part is 2 to 1, 6 to 1. How 6, this 6 goes to 1, and how 2 goes to 1, I'm not going to see. It's behind because I'm here. I'm on the left, we're looking from that side. Okay, so let's join 2 to 6. Which 2 is that? The bottom 2. There is the 2 we marked here. Okay, you have 2 here, that you are not going to see, going to 1. 2 here, going to 1, hidden details. And 6 here, going to 1, it's behind. Dashed lines, we call them hidden details. like that. Okay, so that means you still are not going to see one-to-one at the back. How this one joins with one down, you are not going to see because you're only going to see 4 with 4. 4 with 4 is solid because it's near your eyes. But this one with that one, I won't see it behind hidden details. So this line here, hidden details. Then the rest is done. 2 with 2, it's supposed to be hidden details, but I already have a solid line. You can't have 2 lines on the same plane. Outline is very important, so it's going to override the hidden detail part. Can you see what we have done here? It's finished. The next part to do is to do the cylinder, and then we'll come and erase some parts that will be hiding. Because I know that this cut here might be hidden because the cylinder is in front. So let me just try to fix it for you to see. Let's assume the cut is here. And the cylinder only starts here. So that you can see, because this point here is different from the cut. That's where the cylinder is starting, the green part. And when I talk of the cylinder, green is from here to here. Only the bottom part of the cylinder is here. The top part of the cylinder is here. So looking from the right-hand side, which part of the cylinder will you see mostly? The top part of the cylinder or the bottom part? The top part. Okay, so what we do with the cylinder, because it hasn't got any corners, you have to divide it in 12 divisions. Anything that is circle, even a hole, must be divided in 12 divisions. How do we divide the circle in 12 divisions? You take the radius of the circle, okay? You are going to use these points, 1, 2, 3, 4. With the radius of the circle, come here. You are going to mark here and mark here, meaning put here, mark, mark. Then put here, mark here, and mark here. Then when you put here, you mark here, you mark here. When you put here, you mark here, you mark here. You go through the 4 points, okay? Marking. Then we're done with divisions. Then you can number them if you want. I don't know if you can say A, B, C, G, E, F, G. Then I will go A, B again. Let's mark B, C, G, E, F, G. Clockwise and anti-clockwise numbering, but we use letters. Then you project them down to the bottom of your cylinder. All those divisions, bring them. Let's say number A. Already A, you can see how it comes. A is coming here, and A at the bottom is here. Can you see? Then you go to B and B. B here, and B at the bottom here. It's fine, it's good. Then you go to C. C here, and C on top there. Then D is the center. D and D on the center. E will pass through this E. That is E. And on top, E is here. Then we have F and F. Let's use this line that's already existing. F and F here. Then we have G, which is the last part. G is just this corner here. G and G at the bottom. Alright, can you see? Now, because you know that you are going to see the top edge, and start with the top edge before the bottom edge. So the top edge letters are going to be projected to the right. Starting with A, horizontal, you go that side, you go to B, C, G, E, F, G, you can use G there. Just the top ones. And this one looks open. Let's fix this one. Also, okay, it's fine. I've got all the lines. Then marking, you do the same. You go to the auxiliary view. Look at point A. Is point A on the center line or on the Y line?
On the Y line.
Yes.
On the Y line.
So point A is here. Then how far is point B, which is this second line? You take your compass again, like that. It's B on the right, B on the right, B on the left. Can you see? With that distance. You come on that line, you mark B, and mark B here. Then C, again, you take that distance, you follow line C, you mark C, and this side you mark C. D is the widest part, the center part, that's D. You mark D here, on the other side there you mark D. We start with E, E will just be the same distance with C, I think you can see. C and E, there is E, below C, E. Then you have F, which is below B. Can you just align with B and mark F? Where's our F? Here. Yeah, with B. Align with B. Okay, so now we have G, which is not drawn nicely. Let me draw to be nearby the other lines. So if you draw G, let's assume it's passing there. Yeah, I think it was going too much. It's in the center, right? G. But you will be going horizontal lines. That is G. That is the top part of the cylinder that you will see. I'm going to draw in green because it was drawn green. So you're going to outline freehand sketch. That is the top part of the cylinder. The bottom part you do the same. You've got point G on this line, so let me start with G. I will use this same line. G is where? At the bottom, right? G. In the center. G was on the center, G on the center. I'm now at the bottom. F, I'll use this line for F. When you go with that line, make sure you align with F here. Okay? Yeah, F. And align there to get F on this line. Then you go to E. E must be in line with that E. On this line, in line with that E, E, and E. Center line is the D. You go with that line. I'll use this line. Let's use that line. And it's D. Align with D. Get D. Align with that D there. It's out somewhere there. D. Then you have C. And then you can see that C is there with E. Okay? C here. C. And on the other side, aligning with E is C. Here. Okay? Then B, you go with that line. You align with B on top. B. Here. Use this line, align with B here. Down B. This is number 1 for that piece. The last point that we need is A, in the center. We go with this line. Okay, and then let's say A is here. So tell me, which part will you see most when you're looking from the, it's a 1/2 that you will see, the way we did here, 1/2 will be visible. Which half are we going to see, the bottom half of the cylinder or the top half? Bottom half, so meaning from G to D, right? You see the bottom half,
Yes,
it's just this half. So that is what you outline. From here up until D, you can connect freehand. That is part of the cylinder you see. Then from here going out is hidden details. Then you can connect, I wish I used green, this green. Yeah, green. Then hidden details here, green. Then D to D, because the cylinder has no corners, just join D to D, solid line, these are the cutting edge, and then there. And that tells you that this piece will be in hidden details, you agree? That piece of the prism will change. Now it's hidden detail, this piece, because it's behind. So you have to put dashed lines for that piece, and through there you can only outline here and coming down. Outline here, coming down. This is now hidden details. And then you are done. If there's an opening here, if they say that there was a hole here, you would divide this in 12 divisions and do the same. Bring it to this edge and bring it to that edge. Take your divisions there, start marking. we always mark perpendicular to the Y line. Do not put your compass like that. It's 90 degrees. And then you must know right and left of the Y line. But when we come to viewing, right is right of the center line. So it's right, left.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Once this is finished, just copying this and that is 5 marks in the exam. Doing the left view is 10. Top view is missing. To do the top view there, another 10. But how do you get the top view right? I'm not going to go there. You need to find time. Let me clean. If ever you are supposed to do the top view, then you are going to do halfway. Oh, it's too close. It's supposed to have 45 degrees here. Assuming we don't have this, you go, you do like that. So what you do, you are going to do 45 degrees here, line. Then you start projecting. That is orthographic. If I need number 3, just number 3, I'll go up to 45. Then I'll go that way. Then I come to the front. Where is number 3? I look for point 3. You know, you look for point 3. Then you go up with point 3. Where they meet, that is your point 3. You see how we'll be getting the shape there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. If you want the center line, this is center line, which is 4, 1, G. That is your center line. You will take it to 45, draw. That is your Y line on the top view. Then I need number 4. This is 4, 4, 4. Where is 4 here? There is 4, there is 4. So if it's that 4, I will go up. And where they meet, that's 4. So it will be 3 to 4. After 4, there's another number, which is 5. You can see there 5. 5, you can go up to 45. Come here. Where is 5? 5 is with 3. You come, you mark 5. Okay? Then you can talk of 2 and 6. Go up with 2 and 6. Where is 2 and 6 here? It's still the same age. This same age, 2 and 6. There is 6. 2 is here on the other edge. You go with that line, you get 2 there. The last point is number 1. If you are looking for, I'm doing the bottom now. Let's see. 1. Oh, we are combining. This is from the top, this is bottom, bottom. So number 4 from the bottom should be this one, not this. Can you see what we're supposed to do? Not this 4, that 4.
Yes,
It's this, that, if it's the bottom. Of which most of them will be hidden details. But looking from the top, you will see mostly this 4, this one, and the cut. So if you need the top view because you're on the top edge is what you will see. That is when you leave that 4 there. But if you want 3 and 5, I'm not going to use this line. Let me just check for you. Where is 3 and 5 on top? It's this one. So it's this line you're supposed to go with. And then get your 5 here and get your 3 there. Then 6 and 2, not the bottom number, not this 2 and 6 here. You remove this line. This is wrong. You come to 6 and 2 here on the top edge because you are on top. You go with 6 and 2. Okay, then I'll get 6 here, and then I'll get 2 here. Okay, then the last point for the top is x1 and x2. This point here, you have to take it up. How do I know? I come here, x1, x2. I'll go up to 45 degrees like that. I get x1. Then I go to x2. 45 degrees, I get x2. Because that's where they meet. The last point I need from the top is number 1. This is number 1, which is in the center. Number 1. So what you're supposed to do is just to connect 1 to there, to there. X1 to there, straight there, connect this to there, connect, straight, connect, and there will be a solid edge. Usually we do hatching here. But the only time you do hatching is when we are not showing any hidden lines. Once you involve hidden lines, there is no point of you doing the hatching lines. So you need to listen to the question. If the examiner says show all the hidden details, then you don't need to do the hatching on the cards. So once you do the top edge, then you come to the bottom edge. That's when this number 4 is going to work. You go with number 4. Then you go to 3 at the bottom, 2 and 6, and then 1. So 1 is here, 2 and 6. Let's see, 2 and 6, there is 6, there is 2. Just align 2 and 2, 6 and 6. Then it's 3 and 5. When you come with this line, 5 is here, 3 is here. Then number 4, straight with that 4 in the center. Already you can see that when you're looking from the top, you see the highest point. So the point we are going to see is 6 to 1. And 6 to 6.
Yes, ma'am.
1 to 2 will be visible. 2 to 2 will be visible. Okay? 1 to 1 I'll see from the top, this line. You connect. Alright? Then how 3 joins with 4 and 4 to 5 is what? Hidden details. So with the cylinder, I'll leave it up to you to finish up. Project the same way. Take your numbers vertical because you will see the top edge more than the bottom edge of the cylinder from the top view. Take your numbers A, B, C, D to G up. A with A, make a point. B with B. As long as your 45 degrees is sitting nicely where this center line hits the 45, that creates your Y line here. And then you work with that point.
Yes, ma'am.
Alright.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything, any questions? This is the only topic that they say is very difficult in this module. Once you understand this topic, you do all the activities in the book. Did you download the book?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Go through all the activities and send to me. I want you to be sending the whole week, every day one drawing on this chapter until I meet you next week.
Okay, ma'am.
Starting today, you can take any question to practice. The red lines on my board here are very faint. Green and blue should be outlines.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and then read the question to understand whether it's first angle or third angle projection. Then you'll be okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, and then don't rush to do the front view before you do your auxiliary view. You do auxiliary view project, get your front. Then from there you start numbering and then you can do the marking.
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, so from my side I think it's done, unless there are questions.
No, ma'am.
Okay, have a nice weekend. I'll see you next week.
You too, ma'am.
Okay, thanks.
You too, ma'am.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.